Hello everyone and welcome to my new video. Today we have a very interesting and unique tower, which is also surprisingly effective in right hands. I am of course talking about Shaolin Temple.
Expand your senses.
Shaolin Temple was almost the exact same story for me as Hunter Goblins. At first I found them painfully weak, but then I saw Hunter AFI's video on Frozen Throne Heroic when I was struggling with that level, and he was using Shaolin temples there. This caught me completely off guard since they were supposed to be weak and useless, while this guy right here was using them in one of the hardest stages I have ever played. I ended up beating Frozen Throne without Shaolin Temple, but I became really curious and started using them more later on. Eventually, after some testing and writing spreadsheets, I found out that they can actually dish out very impressive damage, and their constant stun makes them incredibly good at stalling enemies on their own. Even though ReVengeance nerfed the stun at levels 1 and 2, it was buffed at levels 3 and 4, while damage was increased across the board. This made them good at both killing and stalling. There's another stat that we have to consider which might actually explain why Shaolin Temple didn't seem that strong to me at first. You see, most towers scale in a way that it's more cost effective to build more level 1 towers than to upgrade them to higher levels, since you will get more DPS on the map that way. That obviously doesn't mean that you should just build low level towers first, since upgrades matter in their own way. But it's still something to consider. Funny thing about the Shaolin Temple though is that it's actually more cost effective to upgrade it, since the damage increase is way bigger in proportion to the price. In short, you won't feel the true power of the temple at lower levels, but when you upgrade it, you will realize just how much DPS you are getting for a pretty low price. Since discovering all these stats, I played a bunch of different levels while only using Shaolin temples, and they were just incredible even on their own. What made them so capable was their unique targeting system, which helps them catch leaking enemies, and that, combined with their amazing range, gave them serious crowd control potential, which I never expected when I first unlocked them. The abilities are another highlight of the temple. First and foremost, you have to get the Lion of Abundance as soon as possible. It only costs 85 gold and makes the enemies give 10% extra gold. As it's percentage based and not a flat value, it can be insanely useful if a lot of high bounty enemies die near the tower, so it will most likely be worth it. Interestingly enough, Shaolin Monk's upgrade was completely replaced. If in the vanilla game you can get the number of monks up to 6, in ReVengeance you are stuck with the same 2 monks you get at level 1. However, now you get 6-star Strike, which is a reliable, true damage ability with an OK cooldown at max level. This helps Shaolin Temple compensate for 2 of its biggest weaknesses, individual tanky enemies and armored units. So, it's a must-have upgrade and makes Shaolin Temple way more versatile than in vanilla. Dragon Warrior meanwhile had his health nerfed, but it's still decently tanky with 275 HP. The highlight though is his damage output. He now has 50 true DPS, which is absolutely nuts. It is actually the 3rd highest DPS among allied units. We will get to the top 2 in later videos, but trust me when I say this, Dragon Warrior is the cheapest in the top 3 and by a lot. Plus, he's the only one up there dealing true damage. I didn't know all these stats before, but after looking into them I started using Dragon Warrior a lot. That damage output is genuinely scary. In the end, just like with Hunter Goblins, you should treat Shaolin Temple as an archer/artillery hybrid, but geared more towards stalling and controlling smaller groups of enemies, compared to hunter goblins' raw power against larger hordes. That was all for this video. Next time we will begin with our first barracks, Orc Warriors Den. Take care.